Good morning and good morning and good morning to you, everyone. How you guys doing? It's another great day. And please welcome to the Charles Matthews Morning Show. It is a great morning. Now, I know you've been saying, Charles, you have all these great ladies on. Where's the men in your life? Well, you know something? I brought the best guy to start it off. Here it is. So when we get started, I have my friend Stephen coming right on. So don't go nowhere. Welcome to the Charles Matthews Morning Show.
Good morning, y'all.
Welcome to the Charles Matthews Show.
Good morning, y'all.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Good morning, y'all.
Welcome to the Charles Matthews Show,
where it always feels good.
Yes. I told you before I wanted to bring him on. Here he comes. Buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, my man?
I'm good. What you been up to?
I've been busy. There's obviously unprecedented times, but we've been keeping really busy. Nature of our model, of course, feeding people and ending hunger. So we're that much busier because of these times.
Yes, and you do such phenomenal work. What you do for the community, for the public, and just putting yourself out there is fantastic. But before we get into that, let's get into you. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your background? Let's get to know you.
Well, it's been a long one. I started as a professional hockey player. I played for 5 years. Had a very serious injury, blew up my knee, wasn't able to play anymore. And I got very fortunate, got introduced because of my contacts and background to the advertising world. Absolutely fell in love with it. So at 25, I got into that industry. For the first 4 years, I worked for a major contract, working on the General Motors account, actually, where Bobby Orr was the spokesperson. And then I just decided that, you know what, I can do this. I was kind of a serial entrepreneur as a kid, grew up in a poor family and did a whole bunch of different things to make money. So I started my own, and I got lucky along the way. Worked hard, but I got lucky. Got great mentors. Well, they helped me through it, and as a result of that, I was able to build that up and sell that to a major advertising agency. And after a 4-year stint there, kind of semi-retired, and was looking for the next chapter. Obviously, we had no intention of retiring. My wife is also entrepreneurial, and so after kind of traveling around and searching for our next thing, we came back to Toronto in 2014, I think it was, and decided we were going to build something that we could really make a difference in the world, make a positive impact, and leave a legacy. And that's where we are today.
So tell us, here it is. I know all my male listeners are listening, and you drop names like Bobby, or you drop names like this and that, and they're like, whoa, Chuck, slow down. Ask him a hockey question before we get into this thing. Ask him a hockey question.
Yeah.
Tell us one great hockey story.
Well, I guess my best hockey story, which I share the most, is I was able to play in Europe. I started my career in Sweden. I did not want to play in the minors when I was playing in the minors, especially if you were destined for, kind of going to the show, was not necessarily the best place to be, because the majority of the guys simply weren't going to make it, and they pretty much knew it. So I wanted to, and I also know, I guess I was smart enough at the time to realize that I needed to get better. I mean, if you're going to play with the best, you've got to be your best. And so I got some help from a good friend who's now actually the commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, and he helped me get into the Swedish league when I was 19. So I went there, signed my first professional contract there, and I played over there, and the hockey was just phenomenal. So I stayed there, for 4 years, and I have some great stories. Ended up playing against the Russians. Funny enough, I'm married, as you know, to a Russian now. Played against some of the greats like Tretiak, scored a goal on Tretiak, European Championship. So, got some great stories about being able to play all over the world. Of course, had a very short career here. I blew out my knee. With the Canucks, I signed a pretty lucrative contract, and obviously, having got hurt really badly and blew up my knee. But some great stories traveling around the world, playing with all different guys. The camaraderie was there. But hockey turns into a business once you get to a certain level, and so.
Yeah,
more
and
of a
then
business. And so, yeah.
yeah, and then how did this and the hockey field help you in this business? Because you got to travel, you got to see everything, you got to see the good and the bad, and the rich and the poor, and you got
Yeah.
to see the level part.
Yeah. So the good part is, first of all, is it actually helped me land the job because the president of the agency was a big hockey fan. And so not only did I get the job, and of course, Bob Orr was the spokesperson for General Motors. So that's actually probably why I did get the job, because he put his, kind of his name behind me. But more importantly, I was able to get 4 years of kind of a master's degree in advertising, because every Friday I would take the little 6-pack down to the president's office, and he would want me to tell him hockey stories of all the different places I played and the guys I played with, and I would get to ask him about advertising. And so that was probably the greatest thing. But I did learn also, which was a really big lesson for me, because I'm a really positive guy. I went through a really dark time there. I mean, imagine, signing a big contract, you were destined, your livelihood, and then all of a sudden, boom, taken away. Guys telling you that you'll never play again. And that was tough. That was really, really tough. And that was a dark time for about 3 months. I went through that, and so because I went through that, that was a great learning curve for me. Understanding that we can only control so much. You have to stay positive all the time. I know sometimes it's difficult, but you do, and that as long as you continue to believe in yourself and what you're doing, you're going to create success in whatever that may be. So those were lessons I learned from hockey.
Fantastic. So we're going to dive right into your company. But before that, we're going to pay some bills and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, because not only has he traveled the world and seen things, he's doing something great for the world. And we're going to get into that when we get right back. Stay tuned. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish, and in the same time, do some marketing to help you sell your product. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
I guess that commercial looks pretty similar to you, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's my wife's company.
There it is. And so you guys know business, you're both into entrepreneurship, and you're there helping people. So let's dive right into your business and tell us a little bit more. What is the business exactly?
So when I came back and decided that I wanted to leave a legacy, I went to my mother, and as all good sons tend to do, and I asked her what she wanted me to do, and she wanted me to end homelessness, which obviously I asked her what in the world, and she said, no, I'd like you to do something about Toronto, which is where I was brought up. And so I decided to build really the first step was build a homeless shelter. And as I started looking around, and of course, during my career, I've been on the boards of many charities and done a lot of charitable stuff. I started, kind of getting more information on where we were today, where the landscape was, in particular millennials, and how they are feeling about, giving and different things. And I realized that the current model we have, the kind of call it the begging for money model with very limited transparency, is broken. And with all the research and all the data I was able to get from companies like Nielsen and Google, where we had contacts, I realized that if I was going to get into this space, a new model was going to be needed. And as a creative business strategist, which is really what my title was and what my work was in the advertising world, I decided I was going to create a new business model. So thus was born Receiving Through Giving, or RTG Group. RTG Group is a for-profit social enterprise, And what we did was we selected hunger. And that was really talking about hockey. Sometimes you get angry when you're playing hockey, and I don't have a lot of that same anger that as it back then as I do today. But I was still angry when I found out that there was over 40 million North Americans that went hungry every day in Canada, the United States, and I also got equally and maybe a little bit more angry when I found out that some of our biggest charities in both Canada and the United States don't feed anybody in Canada, the United States. We're really focusing on outside when we have this serious problem here. So I decided to pick feeding. And so what we did was we formulated an all non-GMO organic food. And as a for-profit social enterprise, we basically set a price of $39.70 for somebody to buy 30 meals from us. But here's what we did, and this is a millennial model, Charles, which is really important to your viewers understand. We are buying that food from us. Well, when we take that food in that individual's name and we ship it to one of our charity partners. So in Canada, for example, Second Harvest in both Canada and the United States, and Feed America in the United States, we ship that in that individual's name, and the charity receives that and sends the person the tax receipt for the full amount. Now, the reason that's important is because one of the questions we were getting all the time was around transparency. Where's my money going?
Right.
So now the first question we asked in our focus groups to the millennials were, okay, what are you giving the charity?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, the answer was, well, we're giving the charity food. How much of the food's going back to the end user? Well, obviously all of it. They're not selling it. They're not eating it. So 100% of now what you're giving to the charity is going back to the end user. And then, of course, in our focus groups where they were eating the food, we're saying, and now we're charging $39.70 for 30 meals. Like, do you think we're getting rich? And literally every one of them said, how do you do it? And we explained transparency, we explained volume and things like that. So everybody was happy with the transparency side. So we were, we overcame that challenge, which was really important to us. The second one that came, there was actually two main ones that we wanted to build this model around, was people were, millennials were, and nothing wrong with it. We used to think it, we just never said it as baby boomers, but it was like, what's in this for me?
Yes, of course.
So we built in fact, our motto is everybody must win more than they put in. So number one, full transparency. Number two, as long as that individual keeps feeding, we have a discount mobile app that's got thousands of companies, travels, restaurants, bars, hotels, electronics products, clothing. All of our vendors will give you a minimum of 15% off every time you use it.
Okay,
so there's no way.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so slow down.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing here is everything has been shown.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is being right up front.
Yep.
And then to help yourself, not only are you helping others, as a thank you, these big companies and organizations are saying, here, check this app out. As long as you keep helping, we'll give you a discount to all these places, like could be shopping, restaurants, whatever. You're going to get a discount back.
Every time you use it.
Every time you use it.
If your favorite restaurant's on there and you go there 3 times a week, every time you use it, you get a discount, 15%. So we set that up. That's called the RTG Perks app. It's our app. And so because of that, we now know that everybody who participates in our program is going to win more than they put in. And that's what our models are all about. And every program we build, Charles, because we're not a charity, you're not going to get a call from us and saying, here, please feed a person. We build programs that will feed millions of people. And so that's where our program's coming in. And that's why we're so busy right now, because we're building programs right now one will launch on May 1st that will feed probably 50 to 100,000 people a month.
Okay, here's one thing that I do a lot of research on my guest, and then what I love is how you broke down the programs. Yeah. So let's go into the program side, because this is exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Here's the programs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what I did love about this is I'm like, okay, well, which programs for me? I don't really understand the programs, but what you did is you actually broke each program down, and then you said, who's it good for?
That's right.
And exactly. that's the major part that I love. If you guys look right here on the bottom, who's participants, like who's it for?
Mhm.
And then you tell each person, you show them what they're getting, how the program works, so you can actually see that, okay, if this one's for you, because what you want someone to do is stay on the program.
Absolutely.
So if
For
you
sure.
see that this one's helping somebody in their generation and their help, then this is a great one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but one there's one of them in here that I really want to talk about is it's an entrepreneur one.
Yeah.
How does that one work? That was really interesting to me.
Yeah. So every program, just so you know, is this is my main function in the company. It's based on challenges that are brought to myself. So in the future generation of entrepreneurs, which is the one I believe you're talking about, what happened was we got contacted. We had a bunch of interns working for us, and from university, and so what happened was they were really into entrepreneurship and they wanted to know more, and I was mentoring them on that. And then they asked me to come down to their university because there was they have a club, an entrepreneurs club, and they wanted me to talk to their club. And then they were having this big meeting, and they invited me down to listen to the speaker. And when I went down and listened to the speaker from a huge company, I won't name them, but I know the executive VP, and I've known him for 25 years, and he's never been an entrepreneur in his life, but they sponsored the club. So that got me a little bit angry too. And after the meeting, I went up to him and I'm like, what is this all about?
Right.
And he's like, well, they asked me to speak. I said, yeah, but 100 guys like me who are serial entrepreneurs, why didn't you invite somebody that could actually teach them about entrepreneurism? So of course he said, well, yeah, you're right. So what what can we do about it? I said, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to create a new program called Future Generation of Entrepreneurs. And through that, and through the universities, these kids are going to go out and they're going to feed people. Of course, everything is about feeding people. But then through that, we're going to be able to get them build a platform, which we're doing right now. And on that platform will be nothing but entrepreneurs that will give them and mentor them about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. We'll answer all the questions. We'll give them all the challenges that they've had to overcome. We'll give them the true picture of what it's like to be entrepreneurs. And then because of the feeding that we're going to be doing and the sponsorships that we'll get, we'll be able to offer scholarships back to these kids that are part of the program. And so that's basically what Future Generation of Entrepreneurs is all about.
So that's great because you're helping back on the same end. And then these entrepreneurs would see what you're doing. And then if the thing is, they'll jump into the program.
Exactly.
They will give back.
Exactly.
And it just keeps circling and circling and circling.
Exactly.
So this is a great opportunity to help other people in this program. So
Absolutely.
If you're a person that wants to support, you love donating to charities, and you feel like this is for you, I think this is a great program because not only are you giving to others, you're getting something back. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just let you know, type in a question in the comment section. We answer all questions. We'll put it up on the screen. So if you have any questions about what this gentleman is doing, please do not hesitate to give us a comment, subscribe, and we'll bring you onto the show. So for some of my listeners that are just jumping in, let's go over the program one more time. So the program is here to give to others. Mm-hmm. It helps in all different facets, but not only are you helping others to give, you get in return by an app.
That's right.
And the app will help you with some discounts. And how much % is the discount?
Every one of our vendors will give a minimum of 15% off. Some of them give more. And health clubs, for example, or some of the health clubs involved are giving 50% off of their annual membership. So there's considerable savings. In fact, we did some case studies in our focus groups, and we picked just randomly. And minimum saving throughout the year would be about $3,500.
Wow.
So if you put that in perspective, and that's doing what they do right now, by the way. So if you put that into perspective, it's costing you $464 a year, which you get a tax receipt for, and in order to save $3,500. So again, everybody's got to win more than they put in.
Well, I think that's the part that's wowing me. So let's talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the tax receipt.
Yep.
So if a person like me that's entrepreneur, I could put that towards my business.
That's right.
I'm getting the discounts as well from the app.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm helping somebody.
Well, of course, and then bottom line, always, and sometimes when in our programs, people say, "Oh, this is great, you're doing this and everything." We always say, "Well, and also remember that people are getting fed, right? Kids, I mean, that's fundamentally why we have our business." So
I think it's so wow factor that people, it makes it much easier to help others, right?
Absolutely. And I think the future, now here's the great thing. Since we started, 4 years ago, we're getting into our 5th year now. Since we started, we're now seeing more for-profit social enterprises arising. Guys like Four Oceans, who are actually partnered up with us in one of our programs. So now you're seeing this happening where people are saying this whole begging for money is growing old. And people are looking at these charities and saying, where's my money going? And why am I spending so much on, and by the way, I'm not knocking any charities. I've been on boards of charities. Charities are there to do good, but the model is broken. Yeah, and by the way, just that I didn't mention our model, we take 50% of our profits and we must put those back into other causes. And when I built this model, the reason I did that, and I was questioned, well, why are you doing that? Well, first of all, we weren't in this for the money. In fact, this is all funded right now by us, by my wife and I, 7 figures, I might add. So we put this in to do this, but I said, one day the charities will come to us.
Yes.
They'll say, we love your model. It offers full transparency and you're giving money back. If we partner with you, could you give that money back to us? And that is exactly what's happening right now. We've actually been contacted by some of the biggest charities in North America and said, can you build programs for us? And that's exactly.
Perfect. So here's a major question. When we come back, well, of course, we're going to pay some more bills and do some more commercials, but tell us, outside of us donating, if we're companies out there, how can we support this great thing? How can we partner with you? How can we move forward? Because, this is a great model. We want to jump into it as well.
Perfect. Yep.
All right. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to advertise your business, but regular radio is too expensive? Well, just for $75 a month, you can tell the world what you do. Social media is the #1 way to advertise, and with my years of experience, we will make sure you get heard. For less than a coffee per day, you can be growing your business. Call us today, 416-414-8964. That's 416-414-8964. Our audience is senior care plans, distinctively customized. Let's help your elderly loved ones live a fuller, more meaningful life by providing them with care tailored to their needs. We provide care that our clients deserve and strive to acknowledge individual rights and legacies, while offering a supportive environment for both our clients and our team. We at Divine Favor Senior Home Care think about family first. Call us today, 647-766-5394. We are waiting for you.
Yes, so I just want to thank them for sponsoring Divine Care. They're a great company. They help seniors. They'll come in your home and help with the elderly. And right now, what's going on, we need all the help we can get. So, if you see somebody, if you know somebody out there, give them a call. The funny thing is, before we move on, have you noticed more people are calling each other, checking on each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a saying, an Asian saying, it's called crisis and opportunity. And I think that in every crisis, there's opportunities and there's things that come out of them that are very positive.
Right.
And I think that, sometimes we need to look for them but they're there. And I think there's going to be a lot of positivity come out of this one, understanding that we are in this world together and compassion and kindness are, essential really for moving forward.
And we can help each other in more ways than one. If it's just, taking out someone's garbage or helping somebody out or just calling next door neighbor and saying, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. It doesn't make sense. Both of us going. Do you want me to pick something up and I'll leave it on your porch?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And that's what it's all about. Yep. All right. So before we went to break, I wanted to know, how can we get involved? How can we get involved? Not just in the charity aspect. Is there an opportunity to help you in the business? Are you looking for more partners? Any companies out there that you really want to dictate to and talk to and say, listen, the model does work. Let's get together.
Yeah, we look for everybody in our programs that we're launching. Obviously, some of them have been kind of put on hold right now, although we're launching new ones. And we have a great business model, a B2B program, which really is unique to helping companies get a social impact score. It also is really helping them identify not just the feeding area, but all the 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals from the UN, so they can get maximum engagement by their employees. And so all of that stuff's on our website, those programs. They can reach out to me, obviously. I'd love to talk to people. The one that they're going to hear about very soon is this new challenge we put together for marketing companies. Right now, marketing companies, and that's my field, so I know a lot of guys who are struggling. Contracts have been, put off to the fall. Revenues have dried up. So we got this challenge, and we're going to pay for their advertising for them to go out and feed. And over a 90-day challenge, the advertising company or marketing company that feeds the most, we're going to pay $100,000 to. 50,000 the second, 25,000 the third. So we're making a challenge that we can give money back to others as well, so that hopefully they can keep the doors open, or they can, have staff that they can pay and things like that. So you'll hear all about that. You'll start to see ads about, feeding and everything from all these different marketing companies. We'll probably have about 25 companies entered in that challenge starting May 1st. So a lot of great things happening. And again, the Food Breakfast Clubs of Canada,
Right.
partner of ours, they're hurting badly because, they deliver 225,000 meals every day to schools. Schools are closed. So now the big challenge is, how do they get that meals to people? So they're one of our partners that we're involved with now as well. And so lots of different ways to help. But again, it's extremely important to us that everybody wins more than they put in. Find a program that resonates with you, or reach out if you need more information. And I'm certainly available to talk to anybody. And especially these days, if somebody needs help or something like that, please don't hesitate to call us. That's what we're here for.
Yes, and don't hesitate to call. So what I'm going to do is bring this up one more time. Give them a call, 647-859-0126. That's 647-859-0126. And yes, he's always, ready to talk, ready to help out anybody else that has a program. And if you have a program idea, or if you know about a charity that you think would be great for this, why not ask? And this is why I tell everybody when you're on the show, when you see great people like this, I bring you the best of the best. Call them. That's why I'm bringing them on this show. Call them. Don't be scared if you have an idea, or maybe there's somebody out there that needs help. He might know a connection that will help the person. It's all about connecting with each other. That's what it's all about, connecting with each other. Okay. So before I let you go, my friend, this is what we like to do on my show. It's called a shout out. This is your opportunity to do the Queen wave and take your award. Take that award ceremony. Thank anybody you want to think about, and say hi to anybody you want to say out. And just to help you out, make sure you say hi to the wife first.
Well, I was going to say the one and only person really that I would always say, because she's got a bigger heart than I do. She's doing so much for immigrant women, people in business. She's just a dynamite individual. Svetlana Ratnikova, immigrant women in business. Make sure you check her stuff out. She does events now. She's doing virtual events. She's got chapters now all over Ontario, and she helps so many people. And I'm just really, fortunate to be part of that and have her in my life. So that's who I want to shout out to.
Well, I want to shout her out as well, because of her, we've done a great partnership. I would have never met somebody like you, and my listeners would have never seen the great work you're doing. So thank you so much for taking the time and coming on the show. But we're not going to let you go. We're going to do this one more time. I'm going to set up another date so we can keep up of what's new and what's going on.
Anytime.
So we'd love to have you back on the show, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Love to. And thanks very much for having me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
See, another great charity, another great event. Now, listen, give him a call. I'm going to do the number one more time because I feel like if you're looking for something to help out with, this is a great thing you can do. If you're a business, like he said, he's going to give you more information about the competition, how charities and other people can work together. So there's the number. Give him a call. If you like my show, thank you so much for watching. We work on donations like it itself. This is promoted. So if you want to donate to my show, please do so. I thank you all for watching. You didn't have to, but like I say every time, I'm blessed that you did. We'll see you next time.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.